Hi and welcome to cEDH TV gameplay, me Pontus and Jordan, joined by Jed.
Necro-oriented shimmer version of Breya. Pretty much just Turbo Breya. It's Mardu splashing blue instead of Grixis splashing white.
I am playing a Korvold, Fey Cursed King, Yund, Big Dragon, with lots of various sack outlets like Dockside Extortionist and reanimation effects are always fun in this kind of deck.
I took your Nimrus list that used to play Mons and then made a commander that actually does something. So it's kind of like a Draco control deck, but you put a lot of 3/3s into play, and most cEDH decks can't handle that.
Hello guys, this is Jed. Nice to meet you. I'm playing today a Dihada deck. It's a Mardu deck, and it's a Breach deck. Pretty straightforward. Plays OBM, the new card. Plays Flicker spells to Flicker Dihada. And Grinding Station combos. The three Amigos, well, for the Breach, Sivin's Reclamation, and Grinding Station.
Let's draw starting 7. This hand is like borderline keepable. I think if I had a blue source in my hand, I would consider keeping this. It's a little bit sus because you don't actually have the 3 mana turn 2. It's just turn 1 mana vault into Wishclaw. I guess you can tutor for like Dockside, but I still don't have the second mana to cast Dockside turn 2. So it's basically, do we gamble on Dockside being fed? Dockside being fed in this pod is not unreasonable, but not guaranteed. I think we can do better. This hand would be able to high roll a lot though. Go to second 7. This hand is just too slow. The Mox Opal isn't live. Arcane Signet is a turn 2 play. We aren't guaranteed to have a turn 3 play with this hand either. This just doesn't do enough. Go to 6. This hand looks kinda cute, but it also just doesn't really do enough. We can like turn 1 tutor for... We could want to run tutor for LED, but we're still like turn 4 combo. And the other things would be like turn 1 demonic tutor for fish, play turn 2 fish. That's not great either. So yeah, it's too slow. Go to 5. This one is really good. We have several directions to go, which is really nice going on a 5. We always bottom the LED and the reversal because those two don't really work. But this is a turn 1 Rustic or a turn 1 Lotho. I think our first draw decides what we go with, but this is a pretty solid hand. It has a great draw engine and a mana engine. A decent amount of mana. That's just good. We keep this. I'm glad I mulliganed to 5. I'm back to doing good mulligans. That's nice. Go ahead, Mons.
I'm honestly really tempted to actually keep this hand because Yud, Lotus and Mana Crypt are always nice, but we don't have a land, so we're gonna mulligan this one. The only land we have is Gemstone Caverns, and then we're stuck. We don't even have a second land, even though we're second in turn order, so we can't utilize Gemstone Caverns. Feels a little bit wrong keeping it for that case, so mulligan. This is a one-lander. I have to admit I don't like one-landers in like the situation. We don't even have that much else to do either, like put Bird into play, cast Elves of Deep Shadow, but if it feels like we're playing a really slow mana dork game here, so I'm gonna mulligan. This is not going good at all. You know what, I'm gonna mulligan. I'm keeping this. We actually have a really interesting situation with Zombie Infestation. So discard 2 cards to create a token, and then I have a Gaia's Cradle. So I can sit and discard cards for mana? That's pretty amazing. Also we have some accelerations here, like the Mox Diamond, a Veil of Summer, and a Worldly Tutor. Now the big reason we're actually keeping this hand is because of that Worldly Tutor, so we can find Dockside Extortionist. We could slam Dockside turn 2, and with that we could get command. Kinda depends, but Dockside inside this deck is bonkers. It's the go-to. So I'm really happy about his hand actually. I think this is definitely worth mulliganing down for.
Okay, let's see what we get for our first 7. We kind of want to get our commander out on like turn 2, turn 3 at the latest, and this doesn't let us do that. Going down to 6. Got some interactions. We have our win con, turn 3 commander, and then we can just start playing Draco. We're down to 6. We're gonna bottom something. I think we'll probably bottom Muddle because we already have the Oracle.
Moved down to 6 on this one. Basically, I was able to have I had to keep this 6 cards that I have in here, if you could see it. Not much boost here, but as per Sentinel hopefully will gain me a bit of card advantage if they don't pay for their non-creature spells. I also have the OBM here, and hopefully, someone will do a Wheel of Fortune so that I can replenish my hand. But as of the moment, this is the only thing I had, and I think I cannot go down to 5 for this one for a Soul Ring or a Mana Crypt. But I hope that everything turns out okay from this hand. I hope you guys will enjoy this game.
Cast a Mana Crypt. Tap 3 for Rustic.
I pass.
Rustic Study resolves, and I will just also cast this Lotus Petal.
I will untap and draw a card. I will play this command tower. And then I pass the turn.
Okay, I will draw a card. I'll play Urza Saga as land, and I will pass the turn.
I'm gonna go to my upkeep draw phase. I would like to play a Verdant Catacombs. I would like to crack the Verdant Catacombs. I'll take 1. I'll get a Scrubland. Tapping the Scrubland for an Esper Sentinel. I cannot pay. Please draw. If it's resolved, I will pass the turn.
Go to my turn. Untap, upkeep, roll for Crypt. Odds is damage. I rolled a 4, no damage. Draw for turn. I will tap, sack Lotus Petal to cast a Lotho. Lotho resolves. I will then tap my Mana Crypt to cast a Talisman of Dominance. Trigger Lotho. Also trigger Esper, I cannot pay. I make a treasure, lose a life, and pass turn.
In the end step, however, we're gonna cast a Worldly Tutor. Now sadly, I can't pay for any taxes, so both the Esper Sentinel and the Rustic Study can draw a card. I'm gonna find a Dockside Extortionist and put that on top of my library, and then I will draw that Dockside for turn. I really hate my life so much right now. I really hate my life. Mox Diamond. I cannot pay for either Esper or Rustic. You can both draw a card. Now, feeding Rustic and Esper isn't the worst thing. The worst thing, we're pitching Gaia's Cradle to this thing. Then I will follow up by casting the Dockside Extortionist. Can't pay for Rustic Study.
In response to Dockside ETB, I will sack my 2 treasures, make a blue and a black.
This means that I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 treasures from the Dockside. I will sacrifice all of those 5 treasures and cast my Korvold the Fey Cursed King. And I can't pay for Rustic Study either. Korvold resolves, and ETB I will sacrifice Dockside Extortionist to trigger Korvold and draw a card.
In response to your ETB, I'll use my blue floating to Chain of Vapor the Korvold.
Pontus! So boring. Alright, so Korvold will go back to my hand, and then I will sacrifice Dockside Extortionist to my graveyard. And because Korvold is no longer in play, he doesn't see the Dockside being sacrificed, and I draw nothing. I am not copying the Chain of Vapor. Pass turn.
I will draw a card. Lay Island. We will pass the turn.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I'll play Wooded Foothills. I would like to sack the Wooded Foothills. Taking 1, picking up library. A Badlands. I would just like to play a LED. I will not pay for the Rustic. Holding priority, I'll cast a OBM. I will also not pay for the OBM Rustic.
And then I will draw off Rustic for the Orcus Bowmaster cast.
Okay, ETB. I will shoot the Lotto. Then we're going back on the LED. I'll trigger OBM. I will shoot you straight. I would like to attack you with the Esper.
No blocks, take 1.
Okay. I would proceed to my post-combat main phase. And I would like to proceed to my end phase or end step.
Untap. Upkeep, roll for Crypt, odds is damage. Roll the 2, no damage. Draw for turn. Okay, is that how this is going? Land for turn would be a Glimmer Void. I will tap for a blue, cast a Mystic Remora.
Elemental Mystic Remora. No, I'll pay for both.
I'm not paying. Yeah, Mystic Remora is countered. Tap 2 to cast a Arcane Signet. Cast a Portable Hole. Portable Hole will exile the Bowmasters. I will dash a Ragavan. I'll attack Mons for 2.
Mean. I will take the damage and exile Pattern of Rebirth.
I cannot cast that, so I will pass the turn. Ragavan goes back.
Untap and draw a card. Alright. Great. Pass.
Okay, upkeep. Colorless. And sacrifice my Urza Saga. A Soul Ring. And then I will draw for turn. I'll play this Sunken Ruin. I'll tap these to make a blue and a black. Use the black mana to cast Dark Ritual. I can pay for risk too. Yes, you may draw. And then I'll tap these for 5 and cast my commander, Lord of the Nazgul. And if that resolves, then I pass the turn.
I will go to my untap step, upkeep, draw. I like to play a command tower. I like to exile a Simian Spirit Guide for red. Tapping this 3 mana to cast my commander, Dihada, Binder of Wheels. I cannot pay.
I will cast Force of Will, pitching Chain of Vapor.
It resolves. Go back to command zone.
A 3/3 Wraith.
Combat. I would like to swing 3 damage incoming to Pontus.
No blocks, take 3.
Going to my post-combat main phase. Going to my end step. I have 3, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 cards in hand. I will discard 1 card, and that card is a Flooded Strand.
Go to my turn. Untap, upkeep, roll for crypt, odds damage. Roll to 5, take 3. Draw for turn. I will dash Ragavan again. Move to combat. Attack Mons for 2.
I take 2 and you get a Deadly Dispute. Also, this will cost to cast this spell, sacrifice an artifact or a creature, draw 2 cards and create a treasure token.
I will play a Bloodsin Mire, another turn. I would like to fetch. Finding a Underground Sea. I will cast a Vampiric Tutor. You may draw. Vampiric Tutor resolves. Putting this card on top. I'll have 1 colorless floating. Cast a Deadly Dispute, sacrificing the Ragavan. So Deadly Dispute is a instant for 1 and a black. It says sacrifice a creature artifact. If you do, draw 2 cards and create a treasure token. So technically 1 mana-ish. But yeah, this will draw the card I tutored for. So Deadly Dispute resolves. I will use my mana floating and the treasure to cast a Breach.
I pass on Breach.
I will pass on the Breach.
Breach resolves. Tap 1 and sack a treasure to cast a Brain Freeze, targeting myself. Total of 4 copies targeting me. Brain Freeze resolves. I will mail Talisman, Enlightened Tutor, Grinding Station. I can be cringe. A response to my next Brain Freeze. I will sack a treasure to cast the Enlightened Tutor, exiling a Ragavan, a Bloodstained Mire, and a fish. Enlightened Tutor resolves. I will find a LED and put it on top. So from here, since I have a LED on top and more Brain Freezes to resolve, I will be milling the Brain Freeze, or the LED, and once all the copies are resolved, I can loop Lionside Diamond and Brain Freeze, because Brain Freeze mills more than 6 cards, to mill through my library. And then once my library is empty, I can just cast a Thassauracle to win, or I can have enough Storm to kill all my opponents by milling them out and casting a Wheel of Fortune. There's several different choices there. I can assemble an infinite combo with Auric Salvagers. The world is my oyster. Basically, I will just win however I'd like from here. Good game.
Okay, not a tiny bit, a big... I was really all in on that Dockside and Korvold. And once Korvold got bounced, I didn't get a draw, and then I didn't get to attack next turn and draw another card. I was basically out of the game after that Chain of Vapor. The even worse part is I feeded Rhystic Study doing so too.
I think the deck is good. It was just a bit too slow of a start, and being third is tough, and also being one of the only 2 blue players on the table, having to conservative with what I'm counterspelling and stuff is really tough.
So it was a good game. Nice win by Pontus. Besides being last, I moved down to 6, and as you guys could have seen, I only had Esper, Sentinel, and the OBM. But unfortunately, Pontus had a portable hole to get rid of the OBM. I was trying to dig with the Dihada if it resolved, but unfortunately it didn't. And I was tapped out, and I didn't have any answer for the Underworld Breach.
We drew a lot less gas than I would expect from that hand, but we still got there, playing semi-control for a couple of turns. But yeah, that's how we win sometimes. Good game.